Hey everyone, I hope all of you guys are doing good and staying safe. In the previous video, we took a look at the theory aspects behind VPC endpoint. So in this video, let's take a look at creating a VPC endpoint for our VPC. I have right now logged into the AWS console. I am on the VPC dashboard. Let's take a look at our VPC that we have created. So let me filter this VPC on the route tables. So on the route tables, if you see, we have two route tables. One is the main route table to which the private subnet is associated, and the custom route table to which the public subnet is associated. Let's say, for example, I have a database in my private subnet, and I would like to talk from this database to the S3 service through a VPC endpoint, which would make my entire traffic be private in nature. How do I do that? I go to something called as endpoints on the left side navigation bar, and I can go ahead and create an endpoint. Let's do that. You can see over here, you have service categories. You can create an endpoint for AWS services. You can find a service by name, or if you have any third-party appliances in the AWS marketplace, you can also go ahead and create a connection to that. Okay, let's go ahead and find AWS services. So the service name you can see over here. I'm just going to go to the next page. If I scroll down a little bit over here, you can see that probably on the top, probably not in the first page. For DynamoDB, if you see over here on the first page, let me find that out. Yep, it's of type gateway. But there are other services which have interface endpoints too. And I gave you a small example in terms of S3 that has both an interface endpoint as well as a gateway endpoint. So when I go to the S3 service, probably I think in the previous page. So when I go to the S3 service, you have a gateway endpoint as well as an interface endpoint. And I told you the advantages of using an interface endpoint, where if you would like to peer to VPCs and connect to the S3 service through the peered VPC, a gateway endpoint will not work, whereas an interface endpoint will work. If you would like to access S3 service from your on-premise network and you would like that traffic to go through the gateway endpoint, it will not work. But with an interface endpoint, it will work. So there are some advantages to using an interface endpoint over a gateway endpoint. But in this example, we are just going to go through gateway endpoint. I'm going to choose the gateway endpoint of Amazon S3. I'm going to choose my custom VPC that I created. And I'm going to choose the route table to which the private subnet is associated, because that's where my database is residing in terms of imagination. And when you scroll down, this is where you see the VPC endpoint policy, which is a network policy or a network authorization in terms of all the resources within the VPC. When they want to talk to the S3 service, what kind of access do they have? Do they have full access or do they have custom access? So for right now, just for simplicity, we will go with full access. So which means I can access any S3 resource, like any S3 bucket and so on, from within this private subnet resource. Let me scroll down and click on create endpoint. So the endpoint is created right now. If I go to my main route table of my VPC. So let me again filter based on my VPC. If I go to the main route table where my database is residing in my private subnet, and I open up the routes, I will have an additional route over here, probably. I'll just give me a moment, refresh. Click on this, routes. I have an additional route over here where the prefix list or the managed prefix list of the S3 gateway endpoint is added as a target to the VPC endpoint. So now if this database would like to talk to the S3 service, it would go through this prefix list or the VPC endpoint. And the best thing about the VPC endpoint is it ensures that all of your traffic is private in nature. And also, you know what? You really don't need the internet gateway or the NAT gateway when you work with VPC endpoint. So you can directly just go ahead and remove this route for the NAT gateway. You can remove the route for the internet gateway, and you can ensure that the VPC endpoint would work because it does not require a NAT gateway or an internet gateway. And it would keep the entire traffic private over Amazon's backbone network. So in a later lecture, when it comes to the EC2 service, we will take a look at how do you launch EC2 instance into this particular VPC and work with the VPC endpoint of accessing the S3 service, but you are doing that access through the VPC endpoint and you don't have an internet gateway or a NAT gateway in picture. Okay. So I hope you get the idea as to how it works. So I'll see you in the next lecture where we take a look at VPC peering. Have a great day, guys.